You ever have days where you feel like you did a lot, but you're not sure if you got anything done? That's what today feels like. Feels like I've been had no gaps in time. Hence, no team building video. That'll be tomorrow. Uh, and it feels like I've gotten none done. So, shout outs to Savoras for this bulk up Great TUSK team, Terra Fairy. This should be interesting. We're gonna hop right into it. This one should be at least 30 minutes. We'll see. We're back on the Psychic Partners account, so you guys will be getting at minimum 18 to 1900. I guess you can get anybody, but you get the idea. That all being said, question is, what do we want to do in this game? He has an Earthworm, which Great TUSK loses to. Well, not loses to, but you know, it's not ideal for the TUSK because it's immune to ground, and so I can only fairy move, and it's a steel type, believe it or not. I think this will be a simple Volcarona sweep. Not sure how he's gonna stop that. The only thing that could stop me is a trick. I guess I need to kill this first. 1, 2, 3. Dragapult's counter is actually very weak to Gambit with this team because my Great TUSK is what it is. So I don't have a I don't have a straight up switching. So phase 1, this Rotom is Spadef. So that's going to be very, 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 very critical. Pulse is decent. It has the Gambit. And if we're setting up for Volcarona to destroy my opponent, we need Gomora bodied. Now I'm risking a miss. But from a positional standpoint, Rotom deals with just about anything. And we want the Gomora to stay in. Please hit. Thank you. Awesome. Let me think. Do I want Rotom in versus whatever else he goes into? Or do I want something else positioned? Because condition number 1 has been met as far as our Volcarona sweep goes. Unless it's like Terra Fire, King's Gambit, or something of that sort. So this Glamora could opt for less spikes and say, okay, well, I'm going to commit to Great TUSK being my guy. I mean, Goldengo being my spin blocker. Or he could opt for the... I guess none of that really matters unless he gets stun, Volt Switch, position versus what? If I go Great TUSK, I'm staring down the Hydreigon, which isn't ideal for me. So I'm going to go for Will-O-Wisp. Power Gem goes away. Will-O-Wisp is more accurate than Hydro Pump. That's why I went for it. Hitting 2 Hydros versus the Will-O-Wisp gets the KO anyway. So positionally, Rotom is not something he wants in, right? It's very difficult to OHKO, and he's not even sure if I'm choiced. So this Goldengo comes in. So there's a beautiful thing about this, right? Terra Steel, which I don't like, but we'll make do. If he's Trick, he gives the choice card for Pier, which helps out my my Volcarona. Right, because we know Volcarona is going to be eating lunch. If he's Nasty Plot, I get to Volt Switch out, get the positioning, and he reveals his item, which is great. And I have Choice Card Goldengo as well, so I'm not overly concerned about that. And so Volt Switch, he's just going to hard Shadow Ball. What I don't want is to go to Clodsire. What's Clodsire? Yeah, and so that's offensive, I'm pretty sure, if you're doing that much to Spadef Rotom. So he's max special attack, most likely. I didn't expect him to do this, like just go for the mindless Shadow Ball. But truth be told, I could have went to Clodsire. The thing about it is that I may just win the game outright right here. So let's see what his countermeasure to this is, because the way he's playing just doesn't make sense unless you have some Volt countermeasure that I'm not aware of. But if that's not the case, then like he's pausing. I didn't have to go for broke turn 4. It's just I just don't understand what his countermeasure is. So I'm assuming there's some Terra Firing around the corner waiting for me. But we'll see. And because because this could be scarfed, I don't want this tricking me back, and I'm also I'm reluctant about Terra Fairing. So he's speed boost, which means I get 2 quivers. So I Terra Fairy. He could. Terra Fairy does hurt me versus Gambit. Says Hurricanes, which I expected. Assuming no bullshit, we should be good in the hood. Now is the only thing he can hit me with is Hurricane, which is at minus 5 million. So we quiver once more. Terra Fire. Okay, that's a throw. You should have never Terra it there. Because now if anything was, is it guaranteed? Well, I won't say guaranteed now, because you know that one thing could happen. You know what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna just go for Fire Dances. This should 2-hit KO, get all my boosts, and because I'm Terra Fairied, the King's Gambit Sucker Punch can't do shit to me, and I'll burn the Roaring Moon, even though Roaring Moon's typing is literally resisted by Fairy. So what I'll do is have him attack once more. He's going for the look. Morning Sun once more, just so we're outside of range of anything nonsensical. Very grateful for. I mean, it'd be pretty bullshit if he got a confusion before he missed. Like, I mean, that'd be pretty nonsensical. So, yeah, you want to watch your back when you have a Volcarona. That's why I was like, I mean, you get ramsacked by Volk. This was Terra Grass at first, but Terra Grass is inferior to Fairy for a lot of reasons. But, what was I going to say? But perhaps the way he structured the team and for the opponent he structured the team for, Grass made sense. So, yeah, Fairy, considering Fairy is only weak to Poison and Steel, Poison is essentially non-existent. And the things that can use Poison moves, typically Volcarona are beating 1v1, which means you don't have to Terra. And if it's a Steel type, I don't need to explain why. So, bro said, yo, I saw how you handled the last opponent. I'm bringing a Volcarona of my own. What is it with this damn worm, bro? Like, this worm with his stupid smile looking like the worm from SpongeBob. You know, the nickname for this should be an Alaskan bullworm. If you know, you know, bros. But very similar strategy. Especially because if the backs is banded, if I get rocks up, Terra Fairy on the turn, because he's gonna go for a Gale of Rush. I Terra Fairy and 2-hit KO him with my boosted Fire Dance. It's a bloodbath from there. But if I were to break the game down in a strategic way, I'd say very, very susceptible to Shadow Ball. Nothing guards well against. Oh yes, King Gambit. Never mind. Meowscarada is a bitch. I'm thinking if I want to keep this gold and go. Meowscarada is such a bitch, in fact, that Clawsire means his Volt can never win. I'm debating sacrificing my Goldenga for his Meowscarada. I don't mean it's gonna KO him. Well, Meowscarada doesn't really run Sucker, does it? I mean, I'd be very shocked. The lead set typically is running, but I've seen Rogue Choice Scarf. So, Meowscarada is actually quite concerning. But once that's gone, I've gotten rid of the Sash or whatever. It's Volk fodder. Question is, what am I gonna get rocks up versus? I suppose I could. No, that's too much damage, especially if he's banded. All right, so phase 1, I'll just go for broke on the make it rain. If he's Choice Scarf knockoff, I don't think I get one shot. If I do, then at the very least I know. But yeah, some kind of Sash nonsense. But I figured he'd get greedy with the spikes, assuming that I'd fear him and switch out. So that was blessed. That was blessed. As he's forced to go for the substitution here. Nothing he can sub with is overly concerning. That's a damn lie. So Urdu is Polt here. Nothing you're going into is not getting bodied by this infiltrator. As he asks for the does he have a spin blocker? He does not have a spin blocker. And do I have a rapid spinner? I do have a rapid spinner. Does he have a ghost resist? He does have a ghost. Why do I think this guy is going to go for Shed Tail? The reason I'm thinking about this is because I guess it doesn't matter. Because I'm expecting him to sack me Meowscarada. But positionally, I actually want my Polton. Showing Shadow Ball doesn't really reveal anything. Yeah, he's still forced to Gambit. I can see a double out here. I just don't know what could could possibly, I don't know what I was saying there. I could possibly be the double out. Rotom is half decent. Rotom's core purpose, truth be told. But I want to spin here. I don't need the spin to win, though. I don't need the spin to win. You see what I'm saying? But I do want my rocks in. Clodsire is I was gonna say a ferocious, a horrendous rocker in this matchup. So I'll have to find another way to deal with the back's collision. So what I'll do is Tusk first. I don't think there's too much downside, even if he doubles. Right? I figured Dax would come out. But I actually have I don't want a Terra Fairy. If I Terra Fairy, I one-shot the back's caliber. If I Terra Fairy, I spin my Volk won't Terra Fairy, but I don't need it to. I don't need it to. What? What, bro? Come on, bro. What is this bullshit, man? What the fuck? Okay, that's very bad. Oh, that's horrible. That is horrible for us. What the fuck? Okay, that's really not good. Rotom kills him now. Oh, that is not good. It's not the end of the world. Especially because I still have counters to all his mons. He probably has, if he has a Galvrush, it's a problem. Fucking Terra Ghost, bro. With your trash team. Like, this doesn't even help like that much. Terra I'm really peeved about that. Why are you running Terra Ghost, brother? Now, the issue, as I said, is if he is Galvrush and I'm Spadef Rotom. But maybe my Volt can tank it. Volk is super important. Volk is super important. I am so peeved about that. I mean, Dragon Dance, Galvrush, and okay, I have a good bit of defense. I doubt a Banded Galvrush could one-shot my Volcarona. Yeah, okay. Thanks goodness. And actually, rearrange the defense EVs. So I actually can use this Volcarona later to sweep him. The game's far from over, especially because I have Will-O-Wisp and Clodsire. You're going to see why that matters in a bit. Clodsire is somewhat dead weight, but it's also incredibly important at the same damn time. His King's Gambit is really frustrating to deal with. I don't know why he went Tusk first, unless he's confident he's faster than me. Oh, Tusk is the only option he's got. I don't know what I'm saying. This Rotom is super important though, because imagine if I go Rotom and click Hydro Pump after this. It's a bloodbath. So what to do here? Does he go for? I actually think my Volk is more important than my Pulse. Even if he EQs, I won't die. Oh my god, I look like a fucking King's Gambit just now. I look like a fucking King's Gambit just now. Rapid Spin was an awful play. Either way, it was just an absolute dreadful play. Unfortunately, the Shadow Ball doesn't do me much, but something tells me he leaves this in. Because Dragapult does run fire moves. I don't want to U-turn and he stays in, because then I have to lose a Mon to the knockoff anyway. I guess I could go Goldengo, but yeah, I figured he'd leave this in, which is blessed. Goldengo. I really doubt he's faster than my Volk. What I don't want, from a positional standpoint, if I go Rotom and he knocks my item off, okay, so it goes Volky, the Volcanator. I am probably faster than him. Claudie is the man though. Flamethrowers. And then he Earthworms. But I pivot Rotom. Please hit. Please hit. I think that may do enough. Fuck me, bro. That's frustrating. That is insanely frustrating, man. Because now he gets to go for the fucking kowtow. But, man, that's some bullshit. What is Hydro Pump? What you gonna do? Alright. If I miss another one, I'm gooped. Did he Terra? Yeah, he Terra Ghosted. Now, if my Volk is just faster than his, then Sakata is gonna hurt. Yeah. Problem is, it did way too little. I should Hydro here, but oh well. Yeah, the Volk was obvious as fuck. I get to protect though. He should double out to Great Tusk. So if I Hydroed his Earthworm, I wouldn't have to worry about it versus my Clodsire Terra Blast. Okay, so he's probably some other Terra. He's probably okay, interesting. So Rotom has a phenomenal situation going on, and I'm Split F, which is blessed. This is why I didn't want Rotom to take the damage versus the Great Tusk. Why I went hard Dragapult. So now Rotom is in a position of power. And the last two get 8 by... I need to hit this. I might be faster than them too. But we teched here for the extra bit of HP. What is he going to do? It has to knock off. And it's a case where Will-O-Wisp is more accurate. But yes, blessed. So now he can't even go to the worm. And my play is to trick the King's Gambit. Yeah, he does go to the worm. He's praying that I miss. But my play is always to Volt Switch here. I don't even know what this thing is going to try to do, should be told. What I can do is Clodsire first. A Body Press. Okay. Body Press. What does this shit learn? I can go Goldengo, yeah. I was gonna say there's no downside. Did I click the right move? Okay. Sometimes I be clicking the wrong moves out here. We're gonna trick the Choice Scarf here. He doesn't know I'm Scarf. He does. Oh well, he did know because of my Choice Scarf. The thing has no item. The Body Press. So now I can go. If he Body Presses. Yeah, I can go hard Rotom. Because if he Body Presses, I get to go Volk hard. And now he has to... He's going to go hard Gambit. But I get to Will-O-Wisp the Gambit. Yeah, so it puts him in that spot where he can't go hard Gambit. And now I can Morning Sun again. Because I Morning Sun the first time, it'd be foolish to go Gambit now. But I Will-O-Wisp the Gambit. And I think that Will-O-Wisp plus, I mean, I don't want to, but I can't risk. He should kowtow first, yeah. And now I just Fiery Dance. Even if he Swords Dances, it's not sufficient. Kowtow did 31, which Sucker Punch is twice that. So his Kowtow here would do 60 something, but is he lefties? No. If he crits the Sucker, do I lose? I could. Thinking what the... Yeah, I'll just Fire Dance. His play there was to probably Swords Dance again. I mean, like, the likelihood of what he needed to have happen. Like, he'd need to luck me really hard to win. You know, leaving up to the Will-O-Wisp fodder and stuff. It was a little gambly. But I know the reason I didn't want Clodsire versus King's Gambit, even though I could EQ, is because the EQ is probably... I wouldn't be shocked if the EQ is not a 2 KO. Depending on his Clodsire spread. I mean, depending on his King Gambit spread. And so we don't want to be in a position where we're giving King Gambit free setups when I think, yeah, I could trick with Goldengo and such, but We want to minimize that if possible. So this guy should take us to the 1900. Well, depending. 20 something. I need 26 points. Maybe not. It's too close to me, I think. If he's 19 something, maybe. So I guess no thumbnail. Though I could keep playing. But we have to win first, of course. So I like my Terra Fairy Great Tusk here a lot. Especially because it's offensive as hell. Can body Gyarados is something that I've been meaning to team build around. I think it's mad slept upon. Dragapult's a monster. Volcarona, a monster. Volcarona 6-0 this guy. Once I get rid of the Glamora, Clodsire invalidates Volcarona unless it's Psychic, Terra Psychic or something. I can see Goldango doing some things in the late game. I can see Rotom doing some things in the late game. I can see Great Tusk, but we're aiming to Volk at this just like every time, like every battle, like every time. So it's 2 KO this, he has to settle for rocks. You gotta settle for it. Goes Miar Scarlet. I could Terra Ghost and kill this, but that would certainly be a waste of Terra. Especially when I have, do I need Volterra? I don't need Volterra. In fact, it might be to my benefit to not even have a Terra. A little less the case versus Gyarados. Gyarados is not a factor. This is annoying, man, which is why I'm thinking about Terra Ghosting here. If I Terra Ghost, I 2 KO and Oko everything on his team. If it's Choice Scarf and I Terra Ghost, I'm done. Because, like, what's taking a knockoff on my team, you know? So I could Tusk, then pivot to Goldango on his Flower Trick. Man, this is very annoying Pokemon to me. But if I focus on the Wincon, Glamora is already in the condition I want it. So I'll Tusk first. He has to knock. Tusk is nice, but it's nice. It's just that. It's just nice. Flower Trick, he's not Protean. A Flower Trick wouldn't kill me. He knows that. And I'd be able to spin. It'd be a foolish decision as well to allow me to spin on what a Specs Bolt. So player of guarantees, Leaf Storm. Should have went Goldango. I didn't expect that shit. Okay. It's not the end of the world or nothing, but certainly did not expect that as you get Toxic Debris up. Okay. The Toxic Debris matters. But we're leaning to the Volk end game. My Claude is a bitch for him. So Rock's just gonna try to knock my item off, which is wise. So I'd what? Recover on the first knock. Because this is an issue for me. Yeah, that would be Toxic. It'll allow, okay. I didn't expect that. Yeah, good play. Good play. You got the spikes up. Again, for my win con, it doesn't really matter. Especially because I have so many. It seems like I'm in a bind, but I'm really not. Especially if that's special Dragapult. It could be physical. If it's the case, then we're going to see just how... if it's physical, do I want to risk it versus Clodsire, though? I mean, do I want to risk it versus this? Because he doesn't know if I'm unaware or water absorb yet. So if he's banded, I'd get the free setup with Volcarona. And what could he do then? He hasn't Terra'd yet, so I guess it could be Terrafire Volk. Or Terrafire Gira. Nah, you're Terraflying Gira. If you're using a Gira, it could be Terrafire Dragonite. Or I could give Golding. Goldie could do my deeds at the end of the game. It's physical, but it's lefty's physical. Okay, it's actually a really big deal. It's Dragon Dance then. Okay. Because I don't think he's expecting me to be Scarf. It doesn't matter. It's always Shadow Ball to play. Because you know he's not risking the Gamora on the off chance that I am. As he opts for the Volkey on Aronia. This is where things get interesting. I guess he could be Psychic or something. I don't know why you try to set up Volt now. Unless you're not certain my Claude is unaware. I need my Terra. Do I need my Terra Fairy? I don't need my physical Pulse, so I don't need Terra Fairy. I just don't know my opponent's level of competence. Because I could Shadow Ball here. Let's see. Because Claude gets the leftover. It doesn't get leftovers this turn. So let's see what it is. If it's Fire Blast, Terra Grass. Interesting. So is it like it's bulky and then it just stalls with Giga Drain and such? Okay, that's interesting. This could go a couple ways because my Volt can set up too. Very interesting. So I guess I'm gonna have to stall out the so Giga Drain is doing 20%. And Earthquake's taking 2 to knock me out. So if I go my Volk, I'll lose 2. Okay, so that was his trickery. Very interesting. Sub Giga Drain. He always subs here, obviously. Sub Terra Grass, and then. So let's see what I can do here. He has to infinitely attack me. So from a PP standpoint, who has the edge? Okay. So he should +6. Crits me there, but it doesn't matter. Unless he double crits me. Yeah. He's going for the Flamethrower. Flamethrower 23. Shit. It's a lot of PP. I don't have enough recover for that. Yeah. I got caught off guard by this. And it worked, because I was expecting to Volt soon, but this is not. I didn't even know this existed. So, yeah, this set got the better of your boy today, it seems. But I won't quit. Flamethrower. Because he's burn fishing as he should. Burn fishing plus crit fishing. Well, not really. But if he's playing like this, Flamethrower 25%. Yeah, me losing my Black Sludge is a big deal. But yeah, this thing caught me off guard, man. This worked. Very cool stuff. See people innovating, huh? So it's taking. Yeah, it's not enough. Good quiver there. That was the play. If I was physical Pulp, this wouldn't work. But I showed that I was special, so he felt safe to set up. Yeah, I did not see this coming. Here I was thinking Quagsire. So this is useful so that in a future situation, I can have this in my toolbox of things to look out for. Primarily because his Volt can fire dance me back, so I haven't lost yet if I crit. If I crit the one more recover, there's no point in me. There's no point in me stalling. You should always go for. Well, actually, you could try going further. If he doesn't sub, if he doesn't end up with a sub, it's not over, but I'd have to bank on a crit. Yeah, like you'd have to bank on so EQ here, right, and then he gets to sub again, and then he gets to sub again. Yep. And then he can just infinitely quiver dance here because there's nothing I can do to break his sub. So my play would be to go then go actually Giga Drains. So if by some miracle my Polt lives the fiery dance, I could get a crit on the Draco and kill him. I guess I don't need the Draco, I can Shadow Ball if I'm fishing for the crit. Doesn't really matter which one I crit him with. I suppose he could just Giga Drain. Giga Drain makes sense too. But Flamethrower 300% kills here. But yeah, good stuff, man. Caught me off guard with this one. Sub Terra Grass. I can see why it would be useful for Clodsire. I don't use Clodsire often enough to even expect some kind of counter set to it. But yeah, for you guys in the comments, for everybody watching, now you just learned of a set that people may try to use versus you. And so what I do differently in that one, if I expected that, I'd just sweep him before he swept me. So I would have just positioned my Volcarona versus his Polt. The turn when his Polt was versus me, I could have played that differently. I wouldn't have gone Gold Angle to give him the opportunity to set up. I would have just gone straight up. Or either tricking doesn't help. Well, yeah, tricking the Glamora is still a setup fodder for my Volcarona. I just didn't know if he had any countermeasures to mine. But based on what I just experienced, he didn't. So that Volk, the downside obviously is that it loses to Dragonite. Like his whole team was Dragonite fodder. I had Dragonite, Gyarados, Dragapult, Glamora. Yeah, like a Dragonite would just eat his team. The upside is that you can beat bulkier, Clodsire looking builds. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. So we're going to wrap it up at 13 minutes today. And hit the like button. I've been appreciating y'all being patient with me as I aim to get something done today. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.